Griffon Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care. Hello and welcome. Ryan, Brett, GSI, it's Valentine's Day week.
It's festive.
No Valentine's Day love stories this year like we had last year.
We're down to business. Enough of that sappy stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. You know why?
Why's that?
Because the Missouri Western basketball teams mean business, both the men and women. Big weeks last week, big wins for each team. Just one game this week, see if they can go on the road at Missouri Southern and pull out another win.
That'd be nice. Both hitting their stride, playing well at the right time, and February is the time to be playing well.
And we begin with the men. The Griffons coming off a hard-fought week this past week. A tough loss to Northwest, but they rebounded in a big way against the #1 team in the conference against Lindenwood. Let's look back. Wednesday, rivalry night inside the Fieldhouse. Missouri Western men in a down-to-the-wire slugfest with Northwest. Pick it up second half. Griffons by 5 trying to stretch the lead. Kevin Thomas does just that with the tip in. 10 points, 8 rebounds for the Toronto, Ontario native. Griffons up 40-33, but Northwest swings back with the long ball. Connor Crooker, 3 of his 15 points. Northwest within 3. Heavyweight fight is on. Later tied at 50. Trez Colbert slashes his way through Bearcats. He had a game-high 20 points on 9 of 11 shooting. Western regains the lead. Skip ahead, just over 3 to play. Northwest down 2. Lyle Harris also from downtown. Northwest now up 57-56. Final seconds now. Griffons have the ball, still down 1 with one final shot. Colbert's the guy you want with the ball in this situation. Here we go. Trez so good at slashing, but gets the ball knocked loose. Northwest throws it away to play keep away as the clock strikes 0. Brett Weiberg is uncharacteristically livid. He wanted a foul. Won't get it. That's the ball game. Griffons drop a 59-58 heartbreaker. Colbert thought he was fouled, but not using that as an excuse.
I feel like I did, but I mean, you gotta keep playing, man. I mean, that ain't my business, you know. Me being a competitor, I should have just laid it up and finished it, you know. Because if I would have got it off, I know I would have hit the shot. I know I would have hit it.
Well, Saturday, the Griffons donning camo for Military Appreciation Day, trying to rebound against first-place Lindenwood. It's the two teams' second meeting in 7 days. Western dropped a hard-fought affair at St. Charles in the first meeting. Out for blood and revenge this meeting. Cole Clearman off the inbound, spots up 13 points on the day for the freshman. Western goes to the break with a 29-22 lead. Cortrez Colbert had his normal 23.9, but the role players, the stars of this show, Wes Minner providing the spark off the bench. He had 8 points. A big upset in St. Joe as the Griffons take down first place Lindenwood 67-58, the final big-time performance for the gentlemen in black and gold. With the breakdown and the look ahead, here's Brett with Brett.
Well, joined now by Griffon men's basketball head coach Brett Weiberg. And Coach Weiberg, a tough, hard-fought week. You're really going right through the gauntlet of your schedule and the highs and lows, but I thought a really nice win against Lindenwood.
Yeah, I thought the kids played well. Kind of a quick turnaround from when we had played them a week prior to. And kids did a very good job, I thought, taking advantage of a few things we tried to take advantage of. At the end of the day, I thought like we defended them pretty well. We limited our turnovers, and we were fortunate that they missed a few open shots when they did get them, and kind of just played into our hands. You
know, a stat that probably is not lost on you and the coaching staff, but one that I really didn't think that got talked about a lot after either of those games, which I thought was huge. You out-rebound Northwest 8, you out-rebound Lindenwood 9, and those are teams that are tough, physical, have some size, and I think for your guys to do that was tremendous.
I do. I think, you know, we can put, at least we're not just totally inadequate. You know, we've improved in that area tremendously from the first year to the second. A little bit of that's just who we have out on the floor and the size that we can bring to the table. You know, and I think, you know, especially when we play big, I mean, Hans then becomes, and Darian is getting there, but Hans becomes a way better than average rebounding wing, you know, and so when Kevin's rebounding the ball, Hans rebounding the ball, and then when our other guys are boxing out, and when Curry gets a few, I mean, we become a pretty good rebounding team.
Well, you get a week off now, and you know, I'd ask you if that's a good thing, but I think we've asked you that like 25 times this year, so I'm not going there. But you get a chance to play Missouri Southern again, and
right.
you know, that's probably a game you look back. It's been a couple of weeks now, and cliche, but it was the best of times in that game, and it was the worst of times in that game. You had a 6-point lead at the half. You end up losing by 12 against the largest run that we've seen all year. You've obviously seen that and had a chance to dissect that. What happened in that game?
You know, I think two things. I think they played for a stretch there at a very high level offensively, and we couldn't match them defensively to get that slowed down. And then we played offensively in a fashion that we just can't do against them.
Well, and then heading back down there this Saturday, and you've kind of mentioned the 5 games you have left. You know, I think you kind of feel like that one against Missouri Southern, with the way they play and up tempo. You got to keep the pace low, and you got to keep the score low too.
I totally agree, because they're a good basketball team. They have the potential to be a very good offensive team, especially in transition, especially driving the basketball, and even somewhat offensive rebounding the basketball. So I think the lower the number of possessions in that game ultimately plays in our favor.
Well, hard to believe there's only 5 games left, and I know it's kind of that time of the year where, you know, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but you kind of start to look at scenarios as you position for the conference tournament. Have you looked at that? Have you looked at the?
Yeah, a little bit.
You still just
you know,
Southern Saturday, and that's all.
Yeah, you know, we've looked at that a little bit, but we haven't talked about that with our players hardly at all. And right or wrong, I don't know, but our biggest thing is just trying to get ready to be the best we can be on Saturday. And I know that's kind of cliche and all that. You know, the disappointing thing is we're kind of far down in the standings, you know. We're also in a position to make the tournament, so we need to just make sure we take care of that business and get in the tournament. Every win, you know, has the potential to help us, and every loss has the potential to hurt us. And so really all we're focused on is one game at a time, play the best that we can possibly play, to where whatever situation at the end, where we're at, it's going to be where we're at, but maybe we're playing the best basketball we can possibly be playing at that time to go in and make some noise once we get into the tournament.
One thing that won't be disappointing this week is Easley's tantalizing trio. There's a holiday this week.
Yes.
There's a couple holidays.
There are. There are.
Got to take first thing first. Valentine's Day, and then President's Day. I mean, who could forget about President's Day? So, Brett Weiberg, question number 1. Christy Weiberg just seems like a flowers gal to me. How many times in the last decade have you bought Christy flowers if you were just to ballpark it? Not just Valentine's Day. I'm talking
in the last decade. I would say I'll just go with. You know, an even dozen.
Even dozen. Okay, I'll verify that with Christy. Secondly, big candy holiday, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Did you like those little candy hearts that had those messages on there that would say like, "Be mine"? And I think now they say like, "Text me." I mean, who would have thought it would ever come to that?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
You like those? I mean,
you know what? If they were like, I think at some point they kind of turned into the sweet tart ones.
Yeah, they
the
did.
sweet tart,
I like
you know,
those,
and I can handle those.
Absolutely. The other ones are just straight sugar.
Right.
I'm not into those. And finally, Brett, if you were to bring Valentine's into the office and give them to all of us, all of your coworkers, what would the theme be this year? I mean, not Scooby-Doo or anything, but if you were to buy Valentine's, what would they be this year? And I don't want what Brett Weiberg would have taken to school when he was 6. I want Brett Weiberg's Valentine's this year.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Absolutely.
Yeah,
the
that's
Avengers.
right.
Well, Brett Weiberg, let's avenge an early loss to Missouri Southern and get that on Saturday.
Let's do it. Thank you.
That's Coach Weiberg. I'm Brett Easley. Stay tuned for more Griffon Sports Insider after this.
GoGriffons.com, powered by United Consumers Credit Union, helping Missouri Western alumni with their mortgage solutions. And welcome back. Missouri Western women's basketball riding a 3-game winning streak. Don't look now, but they might be hitting their stride. They are blowing out teams, rolling over teams, and doing everything in between.
Well, they are playing well, and on both ends of the floor, offensively, defensively, and again, good time of year to be doing that. But tough one this weekend.
Yeah, 2-0 week last week, and you're right, tough one this weekend on the road at Missouri Southern. Before we go there, let's look back to the week it was. A win over Northwest and a blowout win over Lindenwood. Wednesday, Chelsea Dewey and the Griffon women donning pink for breast cancer awareness and trying to take down the color green. Rival Northwest in town, Serafina Handy shooting them down. Junior guard scored 19 of her game-high 22 points in the first half. She completely broke the Bearcats' will in that time. Western goes to halftime with a 42-14 lead. Yes, 42-14. The second half, they took their foot off the gas and coasted her. This might have been an 80-point win. Still, the Griffons completely shut down Northwest for a 58-37 victory. On Saturday, Griffs meeting Lindenwood for the second time in a week. Their previous meeting resulted in a 28-point Western win. History would pretty much repeat itself here, only worse. Ariana Novak pops the shot. Later, LaQuinta Jefferson, 3 plus the whistle. 4-point play for Jefferson. She had 23 points on 8 of 12 shooting. Western up 41-24 at the break. Second half, Serafina Handy's turn. 3-pointer, whistle, count it. Are you kidding me? 2 4-point plays in one game. Handy had 20 points. The Griffons once again destroy Lindenwood, 80-50 the final. That's 3 straight wins by 21 points or more for the Griffons.
We're joined by Rob Edmondson now, and Rob, tell you what, this 3 in a row winning streak, kind of like the sound of that, don't we?
It is. It does a lot for your spirits. You know, this time of year, your mindset and your emotions and your excitement to continue to practice and play only gets better when you're winning games. And we're in a good spot emotionally. I think our team is excited. Our practices have been great. Our games, obviously, the last 3, offensively, we're putting up a lot of points. Defensively, we're starting to play more like the team I envisioned, and the outcomes are becoming a little less stressful.
You betcha. And yeah, kind of like these 30-point margins in the second half with 5 minutes to go. This speaks to the chemistry and the character of your group. When you think back to the 29th of January, I mean, that could have been the end of the end, how that game worked out. Could have gone a lot of ways. You know, I'm sure even that day in St. Charles, you were probably kind of unsure how things were going to go as well. And to come back like this, the 3 games with these margins, speaks to your bunch.
It does. And all along, it speaks to kids have a lot more control than they probably think they do in terms of determining the outcome and the success of a season. But coming out of that game that you're referring to where we blew the lead and really it was kind of a demoralizing loss, and you know, you talk to your kids about it and you just lay it out to them. You know, I don't have a young team in terms of age. I got a young team in terms of playing with each other, but you just lay it out and say, here's what's we got left, here's what you can do. We actually went and printed out the conference standings and showed them where we were at and where we thought we could get to if we went on a roll, and we mapped it out, and so far they have been on course with that map from the very time that we got beat on the road into what they've done today.
Well, you have an excellent opportunity on Saturday at a tough place to play at Missouri Southern. You beat the line 61-56 on January 24th. Missouri Southern's hard to play against. I know you know Rhonda Hubbard well. She's a very good basketball coach, and that is going to be a game again that, you know, determining league standings. That's going to be a key one.
It's a big game. You know, obviously, like you said, Coach Hubbard does a great job with her program. Southern at home is a completely different team. They've had some road woes, like a lot of teams in this conference. You know, they just got done playing kind of a back-to-back with Central Missouri, and you know, went to Central and got beat by 14 or 15, but beat Central on their home floor by 6 or 7. So, you know, Southern's one of those teams that they're 10 points better on their home floor. We'll have to go in there and play really well. We'll have to go in there and play with a lot of energy. But our kids are excited about it. They look forward to it. We've got a little bit more time to prepare for them because we don't have a midweek game this week on Wednesday, and they do. So, but we're excited. Right now, our kids are just, you can tell they're excited to get to games and play because they're playing at a high level.
Let's toot Serafina Handy's horn real quick here. Double figures in her last 4 games. She averages 13 points a game, so she scores, but I tell you what, she's been really good the last 4 games, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think she's, hit 4 threes in all those games. She's number 1 3-point made field goal in the conference. She's getting to the point now where she shoots it, you're almost shocked that it's not going in. She's just in such a good place. But it says a lot about our team that they're getting her the ball. They've recognized, boy, this kid can really light it up, and our team's playing very unselfish. And now we're starting to see her as a weapon. Obviously, LaQuinta's been a weapon all season. And now Ariana Novak, the last couple of games, is starting to come back into that mix. And now if you get 3 of those kids rolling at the same time, it's just, we become very difficult to guard.
Well, enough about basketball. Let's get down to more important things. It's time for Easley's Tantalizing Trio. Do you know it's a holiday this week?
I just learned it.
You just learned it?
I just learned that it was President's Day coming up Monday.
President's Day is coming up Monday.
Yeah.
You know there's a holiday before that, too.
Valentine's Day.
that holiday.
Yeah, that one.
Well, guess what? We always have.
You don't buy your wife something for President's Day, do you?
Well, you probably do. I mean, you hit all the holidays, correct?
I do. I do not miss them.
You do. You are very patriotic and very holiday oriented. But you know, our special this week is Chateaubriand. It's 2 for $60. We've got the steak, we've got the salad, the soup, desserts.
Where's this at?
It's just the special and Easley's tantalizing treat.
Oh.
Ryan Menley usually hazes me.
Yeah.
By the way, he's nursing his injuries that Max had last week too. So
I heard that there was a lot of contact.
he's not here to. A lot of contact. He's not here to haze me with food,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, so we got that out of the way.
Okay.
So 3 questions, and I'm going to ask you some Valentine's Day
Okay.
questions. I would like you to pinpoint over the last decade, how many times have you bought your wife flowers? Flowers is a traditional Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day or just at any time?
In general, I'm curious. In general,
I would say
over the last decade.
Over the last decade,
Yes.
I've probably bought her flowers at least 8 to 10 times.
8 to 10 times. We'll verify that with Gina and see. Hopefully some flowers are on the way.
Ask her about her new earrings.
New earrings. Okay, we'll do that as well. Okay, Valentine's Day is a big candy holiday.
Yeah.
What is Rob Edmondson's favorite candy? If I had a bag under the table.
Steak.
Steak. I like that. The miniature steaks.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Big steaks.
They make that as
Not a big candy guy.
You know, I'm not either. I'm really not either.
Yeah.
And finally, when you were a kid, but I want to know current times.
Okay.
Everybody has a Valentine's Day party at school.
Yeah.
You take your Valentine's Day box.
I remember that.
Dudded it up, and you bought your Valentine's Day.
And you're putting them in everybody's bag. Yeah.
What would the theme on your Valentine's Day cards be this year that you were handing out to your mates?
What would my theme be this year for back then, or what was my theme back then?
This year, if you were doing that this year. Frozen, would it be Mighty Mouse? What would your theme be this year? James Bond?
That's a tough question.
Tough question.
That is a tough question. My theme would probably have to be something Godfather related.
Godfather related.
Yeah.
Yep. We know you're a movie buff, and perfect.
Yeah, like I know where you're at. We can send people to get you.
Okay, well, be nice to Rob Edmondson because
That's
he'll
right.
give you a Godfather Valentine's Day. I'll tell you what, let's get another winner.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about 4 straight victories early next week.
Thank you.
Rob Edmondson, I'm Brett Easley. CSI returns after this.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Griffon baseball traveled south again last weekend. 3 one-run games at Harding. The Griffs lost the series, winning the middle game of the series by a score of 2-1, falling in 10 innings in the first game and then fell on a walk-off in the final game of the series. Griffs sit at 3-4 overall. They are off this week before MIAA play starts at home February 20th through 22nd. It'll be a 4-game series against nationally ranked Emporia State. Missouri Western softball popped the cork on the 2015 season, going 3-2 last weekend in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Griffins competed in the Henderson State Softball Classic. Individually, Katie Klosterman led the offensive charge at the plate, batting .444 for the weekend, and newcoming pitcher Cheyenne Saladino got her career off to a good start, going 2-0 and not allowing a run. Griffs head back south this weekend, this time to Bentonville, Arkansas. It's the Arkansas Monticello 5-State Classic with 2 games Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. Welcome back to GSI. Moving from hardball to pigskin. Griffon football signed some new student athletes last week.
Yeah, it was National Signing Day last week. All of our favorite days of the year. 24 student athletes coming to Missouri Western. 24 new Griffins, and with more on the new regime and the new class of 2015. Dave Riggert, the voice of the Griffins, has Jerry Partridge.
Any backbone of any college program is recruiting, and National Recruiting Day just happened, and now are you glad to have this over with, first of all?
Oh, for sure. I get so tired of it, but it's a long process, and when you get kind of close it out, and really the end game is the hardest part, figuring out who you really want, the amount of money you're going to offer them in scholarship, and then obviously who's involved with them, and just their feel and fit, and any day could be different. And so we're really fortunate to get the kids we have, and it's amazing to me how many times a $500 guy ends up better than a $5,000 guy. Now obviously the prices are higher now. I should say the $1,000 guy is better than a $12,000 guy, but you never know. And we feel like we got a good grip on some kids and did a good job locally, filled some needs in the specialist area. But there's some really good, well-rounded kids that have all MIAA potential in it.
You know, we've talked before, and you never know how a class is going to turn out. Did this one turn out a lot different, or was it kind of what you thought it was going to be going into recruiting?
Honestly, I never know. I mean, I never just say, I mean, you've heard me say that when people ask what you need, I say, I don't, we just need good players. And I'll put a ceiling on each group of how many we'll take at each one, and there's a general overall ceiling of how many players totally we can take. We definitely need to get a punter and kicker out of this group, and we did. We got 2 of each. But, you know, there's a really good tight end, Trevor Belmont from Omaha, that has big hands, big frame, catches it really well, that we feel really strongly about what kind of player he's going to be. And he's one of those, we had about 5 tight ends we really, really liked. 4 of them went Division I. The other one really chose a poor choice in school, and the other one we got. And honestly, Trevor ranked maybe the highest of all of them. When we really evaluated him, he was probably the best kid. And that's no coach speak or recruit speak. He was really the most athletic of all that group. We had some good DBs in the group. You know, Dominic Jamerson's killer up on offense, but he could be a defensive player pretty easily. His dad even thinks he's a corner. Robert Richmond from Willard, Missouri, was a kid that we brought in early January, committed early, canceled all his visits, and hung all that long. He was a kid that played running back and safety at Willard, and we're going to play him at safety. He's a great tackler, runs the alley really well, is really, really physical. Hayden Dinger's a center out of Ray-Peck that we targeted really early. Came to our camp. I liked him and just recruited him throughout. And you know, there were some schools that really put a hard rush on him, but he's just one of those kids you just have that great feeling that he's going to be a cornerstone kind of kid that is going to be at least a 3-year starter and maybe going to be a captain kind of kid.
Defensive line was pretty heavy in this class, and that was an issue last year with not a lot of depth at that spot. So was that an area of need this year?
You know, I would say yes and no. We don't feel like we need to go get a transfer there because we're really senior laden. But that's the scary part, is those kids are there's a bunch of seniors in there with OB and Arbanis and Brody and Giannis. And we did get some inside kids that we think can play eventually. You know, one of the kids that we got that I didn't really talk about at the press conference is Joe Betcher out of Columbia Rockbridge, who's really, really good on film. And there are some bigger kids in there that I think West Bell can do a great job of developing.
And obviously, you do regional recruiting, but a lot of local recruiting this time. You have some St. Joe kids, Maysville, Plattsburgh, the list goes on, but a lot of local kids this year.
Well, I think that's, you know, it's kind of been our mission as a university all along, as it's a regional university, and I think we have a certain obligation to do it, but I'm not just going to take them. I mean, they got to be able to play too, and like I said at the press conference again, I think the world of a lot of these high school coaches and become friends with a lot of them, and when they say kid can play, I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to be good players. And the encouraging thing is a lot of those guys want them to play for us, and that's what's fun.
And as we talk about, you never know about a recruiting class until 2-3 years down the road, but I'm guessing you probably feel pretty good about this one, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's some really quality young men in it that can really play, and you know, it's again, you never hear a college coach ever say, no, I thought our recruiting class stunk. But I do feel strongly about it. I do feel strongly about our ability to develop kids, and there will be first-team all-conference guys in this group, you know, and the goal is to make every one of them at least a role guy that can help us win.
A historic 2014 for Missouri Western women's soccer, a 9-9-1 overall record. The Griffons broke school records for wins in a season, first winning regular season, and fewest amount of losses. That was last year. Now we look forward to this year. Joining us now on National Signing Day, I'm here with head women's soccer coach Chad Edwards. You've got 7 new signees today. How excited are you to add these new faces to the squad?
You know, it's always a fun time of the year. You know, we go out and recruit the best possible players that we can, and it all comes to fruition today. Megan Maynor is an ex-goalkeeper that's playing on the field for the last couple seasons and has really developed into a solid and gifted player and come in and compete for a starting spot right away. Bailey Ketchum is a tough physical kid that plays in the back, but she's multiple. She can play, I think, a holding mid as well. Really good technically as well. Just one of those nasty type kids that is going to be a physical presence for us. Cassidy Chappell is a transfer from Iowa State. Very gifted, athletic kid that's super technical, and we have high expectations for her to come in and really help us offensively. Caitlin Unlin is a kid from St. Louis that's kind of on the radar. I feel like she's got a lot of athletic ability, and you know, has played in a really good club environment, has played in a good high school environment, so I expect her to come in and compete really, really hard for a starting position. Madeline Cowell is from Duchesne High School, plays in a really good club system, has won 2 state championships at Duchesne, very crafty on the ball, has very good vision, uses her body well, just a really good solid player. Sarah Durbin, younger sister of current Griff, Bailey Durbin, just like Bailey, very technical, savvy on the ball, incredible striker of the ball. We're excited to see that on the field with free kicks and, you know, just getting her in open space. And Lawler Christensen. Lawler is a kid from York, Nebraska, small town, middle of Nebraska, who's kind of been on the radar. Very athletic, thrives in a competitive environment. I'm really looking forward to her coming in. She scored a lot of goals in high school, and I think she's only going to continue to grow when she gets here.
10 of your 11 starters returning, which is really huge for the future of the team. What impact will these new signees have on your team?
You know, we talk about to the players all the time, you know, our job is to bring in the best possible players, and it's their job to continue to develop while they're here. And we certainly have put together a great class, and now the pressure's on both sides, you know, for the players that are here to continue to develop and the players to come in and make an impact right away. The nice thing is that we're at the point with the program that we have a lot of players back, and we certainly have a lot of depth on the team, and so we're excited for the competition that's going to be created through preseason and into the season itself. And so we wouldn't recruit kids if we didn't feel like they could help us out immediately.
So now the pieces are together for 2015. 2013, you had a 2-14-2 record. 2014, 9-9-1. What are your predictions for the 2015 season?
If I knew and we could bet, I'd go to Las Vegas. But I don't know and I can't bet. So you know, it's pretty obvious that we're better. We certainly made strides this past season, but you know, that's been a focus this off season, is that we're not a one-year wonder. We want to win on a consistent basis, and we're not going to be satisfied until we're at the top.
I'm here with all-time wins leader, head coach Chad Edwards, and before we go, just want to check out, it's 12 degrees outside and he's wearing shorts, which is very interesting.
You got to be Griff tough. You know, if you're not Griff tough, then you don't belong here. So I guess I'm Griff tough. I don't know, or maybe just dumb, but one of those two things.
We all need to be more like Chad Edwards. I'm Jessica Cook. This is GSI.
That was good. That was awesome.
Hi, I'm Doug Leonard. I'm a physical therapist, athletic trainer with Mosaic Life Care. I'm here to talk to you today about ACL prevention exercises. And a good ACL prevention program involves flexibility, balance, strength, and plyometrics. An ACL injury is actually one of the main injuries that take athletes off the field. We're going to show you these exercises and hope to prevent you from becoming one of the injured athletes. Anna here today is going to show me our first 4 exercises. The first exercise is a basic squat. The most important thing here, knees do not go out past the toes, knees over the top of the feet. The next exercise is a jump squat, which combines the basic squat into a jump position. Jumps up, lands once again, knees over the feet, knees do not go out past the toes. Good position there. Third exercise is lateral bounding. We start in a single leg stance. We're going to jump to the opposite leg approximately 12 inches and go back and forth with that. Every time we land with a bent knee to accept the weight. Our fourth exercise, we're going to go to a step-up thrust. This is approximately a 12-inch step. An average athlete, I would start them on a 6-inch step. She steps up with either leg, thrusts the opposite knee up, step position. And that's our first 4 exercise. Alex, the other athlete, is going to show you 2 exercises with the physio ball. The first exercise is a walkout. This is actually a core strength exercise. The ideal position here is to have the knees, hips, and shoulders all maintain alignment. This exercise is a hip flexor and works the core. The next exercise is a hamstring exercise. With the hamstring, she puts both feet up on the ball. She's going to lift the hips and pull the ball towards her. To make this exercise more difficult, she can go to a single leg. The other thing is, we provide less stability. She puts the hands across the chest. Either of those can make it more difficult. The last exercise we do is a Roman deadlift. The Roman deadlift, we start with about a 5-pound weight. She starts a single leg stance with the bent knee again. It requires balance, strength. You can progress to more weight with this if we need to. She has approximately a 5-pound weight under at this time. These exercises combined with the flexibility program will help keep you in the game.
And welcome back. Kind of a slow week in Griffon Nation this week, but still kind of a big week. Just one game for Missouri Western basketball on the road Saturday at Missouri Southern. The women tip at 1 p.m., the men tip at 3 p.m. Both teams, boy, they could use a big road win, and that would be a big road win.
They could, and both arguably are playing their best basketball at the right time. But tough place to go to Missouri Southern, but if these teams play well, they can do it.
We'll see if they can get it done.
Hey, speaking of some things, we look back on this show, and we need to look back. You got injured last week. You
got injured because the idiot mascot hit me with a...
How are you?
I'm feeling bad. I've had staph infection all week because of that umbrella.
Speaking of...
Look, man, I
can't even believe
I don't even want to mess with you.
Max,
I'm not even going to play.
You have to learn. I know you're a mascot. We are sick and tired of your antics. How can you beat this man? Unbelievable. When are you going to learn? Let's say that'll teach you.
You know...
Way to get even.
This is a good segue into our, tennis season begins in a couple weeks here too.
Absolutely. Well, I like your forehand. It was a great forehand.
It felt pretty good. He hit me in the right arm, so I'm still a lefty. I still got that. That's GSI for this week.
Hey, we're gold, and as always, go Griffs.